Okay guys, congratulations on getting to week 5 of virtual learning. I hope that last week wasn't too much of a strain for you. I hope you were able to get everything completed, but if you were not, that's okay. Obviously, in a virtual learning space, you're going to work at your own pace, and that is totally fine. But if you need any help or you feel really behind, please just reach out to me if I haven't already reached out to you, and we can figure out the best way to get you feeling caught up and comfortable with the pace of this course and maybe some of your other classes. But this week we are going to be learning how to write and how to structure your own writing through reading. I always say that the best way to become a better writer is to read better writing. That's really it. The way we learn vocabulary and we learn about cool ways to write sentences and ways to structure our writing are through reading novels and pieces of nonfiction. And that's how we figure out our own style of writing. So this week we're going to be reading a text. Specifically, we're going to be close reading. So I'm going to keep this video really short because I looked at my YouTube analytics and it seems like people make it to like 3 minutes into the video. So I'm going to try to keep this to a 3 or 4 minute video. So this week you are going to be reading a PDF that is going to take the place of what you guys have come to be comfortable with, which is a video every week that sort of talks about what we're going to be doing this week. Like last week it was that synthesis video. There's no video this week other than this one, but there is a PDF. It's about 8 pages or so, and it's from a textbook, but it's really great information. It's about close reading and annotation, and the text walks you through an annotation of a piece by Joan Didion called The Santa Ana Winds. So you're going to read that. It's going to talk about annotating, why we annotate, what you should be annotating. It's also going to talk about some other close reading strategies like creating a graphic organizer, which is another thing you can do, but for our purposes, we really want to think about and focus on the annotation. So you're going to be reading that. When you are done with that, you are going to be doing your own annotation of another Joan Didion text called On Self-Respect. And actually, I have that right here. I have my annotated version of On Self-Respect right here. And you're going to be doing your own annotation. So after you finish reading that PDF, you want to read this. Again, this is pretty short. It's this front page, this back page, and then that. It's a fairly quick read. It's a really good read. And I think most of you are really going to enjoy it. Joan Didion's style of writing really like sweeps you along and gets you into the text. And even though she writes at a really sophisticated level, it's really easy to get into and easy to read. So we're going to be reading that and you're going to be annotating. This version of it with the annotations is on eCampus. So I have included this for you. So when you do your annotations, you might have some of the same ones as me. If you go through mine, it might inspire you and you might include some of those in your own. That is totally fine, but I do expect to see some original annotations because annotating really just reflects your thought process when you're reading, right? Like what are you paying attention to? What is sticking out to you in the text? And you're making comments so that when you come back to that piece later and write about it, possibly, you remember what you were thinking. You don't have to do all that cognitive work again of figuring out what you were thinking when you were reading this paragraph, right? You already wrote it down. So you're gonna be doing your own annotations. You can do that by printing out a copy if you have a printer and paper at home, and then writing on it, taking a photo on your phone and uploading that, or a photo on your laptop. You can also, if you have a PC, like if you have the laptop that we have at Sci-Hi, you can go ahead and do that on Adobe or any other program where you can view the PDF and then use the highlighter or the text box to leave comments and annotations. Or if you have a Mac, 'cause I know some of you do have Macs, you can do it in Preview. That's how I annotate stuff on my school computer. So that is how you're gonna do your annotations. Again, if you like writing and you wanna do it on paper, that is totally fine. You can do it that way, but do it however works for you. After you do the annotation, you're gonna do the week 5 quiz. The week 5 quiz is just 4 questions, just like all the other quizzes. You have unlimited attempts, and then you will be done with week 5. It's really important that you do the annotation for a number of reasons. Mostly because annotating is a really important skill, and if learning how to annotate and annotate well is a skill that will serve you for the rest of your life, no matter what you read, no matter what kind of text you're reading. Even when I read for fun, I find myself like picking up things and I have to tell myself like, no, this is like a fun read. Like you don't need to write that down. Like, well, you're not gonna need that. You're not gonna write about this book. But annotating is a really good way to store information from a text and to like reinforce what you're learning and what you're picking up on in the text. But also next week in week 6, we are gonna use this text to practice some more long form writing and work on that consistent line of thinking that's really important for the FRQ. And so this week we're reading this text and annotating it. Next week you're going to be able to use those annotations in what we write next week. So doing this week saves you time next week, and we're also practicing a really important skill, which is annotation. It's also a little less taxing, so I hope you guys find it less taxing. We're just reading and annotating, and I really cannot wait to see what you guys annotate, because it shows me what's going through your head when you're reading this. So I really do hope you enjoy the text. If you have any questions, please reach out to me and contact me, and otherwise I will see you in one of our virtual class sessions.